time champions this time around. And when we look at the side of OG, obviously, how crazy would it be if not only we have the first time that somebody's been able to win, not one, but 2 TIs, be a back-to-back champion? Well, let's see if they are going to be able to make that giant leap. Will they be able to get the best seats in the house? Will they be able to go straight to the grand final?
PSG.LGD's turn to ban. OG.
Game 3, the magic number when you're playing on the TI main stage, at least for us, the viewers. Maybe the teams would prefer 2-0, but luckily they don't get what they want.
Well, we do.
Yeah.
So here, game 3, OG got picked first pick. They won the coin toss, and LGD picked Dire.
I think whoever has first pick has a huge advantage this TI.
You say that so far in this series, first pick has lost both games. Why do you think first pick has the big edge here?
Especially for OG, because there's like I said, there's so many heroes that if you just pick it has a huge edge. Enchantress, IO, or not IO, but like IO for OG, I guess. IO, Chen. I think they forgot about the Chen at LGD, but like Magnus is pretty high up on OG's priority too.
Yeah.
So OG has a lot of these like first pick heroes that LGD don't want to give, but LGD don't have like a lot of first pick heroes.
I think the LGD draft was actually really good against the whole OG draft. I thought LGD outdrafted them, besides one factor, which was the Chen Alchemist. I think that was the one trump card for OG. If the Alch got banned, and even they picked up the Spectre second phase. I don't think this Chen Spectre is as strong as this Chen Alch.
Yeah.
I think the game would have went a lot different.
Because those first bans, you're normally thinking about what you're giving up, and it does feel like maybe like they forgot about the Alchemist, particularly the synergy with the Chen in that second ban phase when they're banning Spectre and Void.
Right now, I think they're deciding whether they should ban Magnus or Chen, and they just stick with the Magnus.
They're probably also thinking Alchemist, because OG banned AA in the first stage this game. So last game it was second stage, they banned the AA to protect an Alchemist, and guess what? OG's first pick Chen, Alch is still in the pool.
I think LGD has to take Alch here.
Or ET, they might pick ET.
Or both.
Yeah, what are the heroes you're picking to deal with an Alchemist in the first stage if you're expecting that second pick?
I don't think you can. The Alch Chen is so strong. I don't even know if I've seen it lose this whole tournament. Like the two, maybe they've lost one match together, but every match I've seen, it's a stomp. The 20% more healing works well with his ult. His creeps can protect your jungle. Kind of go back and forth. There's all these they make up for each other's weaknesses. You know, they're like one of the best duos in the game. I think you can say.
Well, they do get the ET you suggested, Febby, the most picked hero of the tournament so far.
Yeah, second most played by LGD actually with a 86% win rate. Mini Nahas here.
Statsman Febby.
Yeah.
I think they have to take the Alch here. I think unless they have a set idea of how to beat this Alchemist, it was too strong last game. I think even if you kind of contest him in the early game, he's going to get a Radiance, and they give up the Alchemist.
They have a different idea. It's the Tiny who OG had last game as well. I mean, as far as heroes that look the best of the best, I feel like Tiny is in that category as well.
Yeah, it's just so versatile. It can play as support, but nowadays we see it more on core with the tree volley. Just coupled with some AoE stuns, this tree volley can do a lot of damage late game.
Yeah.
The scary thing about this Alchemist is most Alchs are going at least one bracer, if not two, which means that he's not going to die to this Tiny combo in the early game if it's a core Tiny. Maybe with the ET aura, the magic. Yeah. But even then, I think it's kind of pushing it.
We could see some of those combos around ET, like the ET gyrocopter where you run people down with the magic damage. Of course, OG now have 2 bans to protect themselves from some of the heroes they're worried about.
Probably they're going to ban the Void.
Yeah, that's the other hero.
And the Gyro. I think those are probably the top 2 priorities for OG.
Ember's pretty up there too, I think, for LGD.
Lifestealer is okay, as we said. Like last game, it's good against the creeps. You can eat the creeps. It's decent against Alchemist, I think.
It does not abuse the ET aura though. I think like you gotta ban those heroes that abuse the ET aura. I can see them picking up Jakiro too, but it's not worth banning for OG. But
he's a Radiant Spire. And that's ET aura, magic, and physical. I think the one scary thing about not scary thing about the Lifestealer though is like he doesn't do enough damage until later in the game for this Alchemist, like, you know, post 30-35 minutes. And before then, this Alch Chen I think is going to run them over. Like we saw last game, this Alch had such a fast Radiance, and the game just feels over like 15 or 20 minutes, right? There's that one Roche fight or the river right fight, Shadow Demon's level 5. The Alk gets like 3 kills. Sven tries to hit creeps, but now this Alk's like double his net worth. And the game feels really over.
Yeah.
And Lifesteal's gonna be in the same position, right? Like sure, like him, like the Sven can scale against this Alk. You know, 3-4 items, maybe 5. They're gonna be evenly matched, but this Alk's gonna have 3 items on you, and at that point,
well, yeah, how do you beat it? And the Chen synergy with the Alchemist is not just the amplified healing, it's you've got this hero in the jungle that's stacking for the Alchemist, can stack with his hero, can stack with his creeps. Something OG are very efficient about getting Ana as much farm as possible when he's playing Alchemist.
one of the issues with like this multi-thing stacking is you can only micro so much, right? So it's like you can kind of try to get like 2-3 camps as well, but it's kind of hard. So I think what a lot of teams can do is they give away the Chen creeps to their other players. So he can give like 2 creeps to this Alk, and the Alk can also stack 2 other camps, you know?
Yep.
And they're just maximizing their efficiency.
And it's the gyro ban, so PSG.LGD do have Faceless Void open to them if they want to go for it. And Ame has played a decent number of games on the Void. He is comfortable on the hero.
Yeah, it's one of Ame's favorite heroes.
They also, LGD banned the Darkseer. It worked. It was so good with the Alk last game. He's just getting Surge early game. He's already fast from ult. He's already a fast hero. He has phase boots, and he has a Surge. He's running, you know, like 600 movement speed, 700 movement speed.
It's
You
pretty
can't slow
funny.
him.
It's pretty funny because like 2 days ago, Darkseer was untouched, right?
Yeah.
It wasn't picked at all. And now OG's just bringing it back.
He was one of, I think, the last 5 or 6 heroes unpicked or unbanned, unpicked at least in the entire tournament.
Yeah, and then he got picked by Secret, maybe?
Secret or Liquid? maybe?
Liquid. It was Liquid with mind control.
Yeah. I think it's coming back a little more because teams are, I think, valuing Ember a little more than they were the past couple days. Alchemist is also getting up there, and Tiny. And Darkseer with those 3 melee heroes in particular are really good for the 15 to 25 minute mark. Ember, for obvious reasons, his ult's faster. His Flame Guard just becomes a better Flame Guard with the Ion Shell. Alk for what we said, and Tiny just because he gets you in position, and that's all Tiny needs. He needs to get in position for these toss avalanche combos and dealing a lot of damage.
Shadow Demon is picked up by PSG.LGD, giving them SD ET support duo. One of them will be FYs. You think that's more likely to be the Shadow Demon getting the
probably the
point here?
Shadow Demon.
Also a block pick. If they wanted the Void, you want to take that SD away from OG, I feel, because that's the save that teams often want to be picking and playing against a Faceless Void.
It's also good against the Alk if you're really far behind, because if you make illusions of him and he has Radiance AC, you'll get both the ores on your own team.
Well, the trick we've been seeing is you can turn the Radiance off while you're disrupted.
You can't turn off AC.
Oh, sure. Yeah, they can turn off the Radiance.
Backpack it, but there's also
Yeah. But as far as the Radiance goes, I feel like the SC, we're seeing all these Alks now just, you know, you can spam it and turn it off inside the disruption.
Tida turn made it to the second phase.
Ooh, it's a really good Morphling game for LGD, I think.
Yeah, I saw Morphling. It's okay. I think there might be a little too much pressure in the mid game for Morph, but it lanes really well against the Tide. But I think they're just gonna give Ame last pick.
They needed the magical damage, so they opt for the Sand King, even though they lost with it last game.
Get the fast veil, you've got magic damage coming out from Shadow Demon. It's synergy with the ET aura.
Yeah, there is a lot of damage for LGD.
Yeah.
I guess they were happy about how their first like 5 minutes in the offlane went with the out pressure. But as we saw, that didn't really slow his Radiance timing down significantly. He got the 4th highest, right?
Yeah.
So I guess, you know, they're feeling confident. They're like rerunning what they did last game. They're probably saying, you know, maybe our mid pick or our carry pick was a little off. Maybe we gave them too much. So maybe now they're kind of thinking, what we did with our other 3 heroes is fine.
Yeah,
but we
their
gotta
mid
change
pick
up.
has changed. It's gone from a DK to a Tiny who is kind of faster paced. It's at least a hero that can get in the Alk's jungle and steal stacks, I feel. DK doesn't really farm enemy jungle stacks or stacks at all.
Not until he's even level 12 right now.
Yeah.
At that point, it's too late.
So someone that can go in, threaten to kill Alchemist, take those stacks, and OG now going to be wondering about what they're going to get.
Probably gonna pick a Thompson here right now, unless he has multiple options. Usually, on this this pick right here for first pick, you want to pick the hero that you think is more important to your draft. So in this case, they pick the Rubik, and that's because they're probably going through like, "Yo, Jerax, do you have options?" And he goes, "Nah, it's really Rubik's the best. Everything else is a tier below." And they go to Thompson and they say, and he gives like, "Oh, both of these heroes are good, right?" Because now they have the choice between 2 heroes, and only one will get banned, and the other will be good no matter what. And only this one a Rubik. So OG is going to pick up the Rubik. It's really good against Sand King. That's one of like the classic support counters to it.
Thompson definitely a player who has quite a big hero pool as far as unconventional mids go, so.
Yeah, Dazzle ban. I think they're scared of the mid Dazzle.
Yeah, it's the second game of this 3-game series we've seen the Dazzle ban, so clearly something
That's interesting.
they believe OG can do. Maybe they've seen in scrims.
Yeah, maybe I think it should be the scrims. OG played a mid dazzle and it was pretty scary, stalling out the game for the Alchemist.
It's also got synergy with the Chen. You get more healing on your team. If you ever grave the Alk, he's gonna heal back up to half health by the time it's over.
It's a lot of minus armor too. Acid, Gush, Dazzle. A lot of minus.
OG's turn to pick.
Void ban, they're still scared of that.
And that's the carry we expected to see in response to OG's draft with the Tiny Tree Volley as well as the Elder Titan Earth Splitter synergy. It would have been a great option for them as their last pick.
It's also one of the good people have figured out counters to Tide. That's why we see it a little less, I think, now. Because he can't, you know, break off the Chrono, right? If he gets stunned by a Chrono, he's getting stunned full duration of Chrono. It's not going to end after 500 damage like every other spell.
So the most optical Thompson hero right now would be some brawler frontline that can fight with the Tide and the Rubik and the Chen. Has damage and has deep push. He needs like all those 3 options.
PSG.LGD.
Tide have all those options?
I think so, right? Brawler, deep push with the Q,
Sure.
overwhelming odds, and like what else did I say?
Fight with Tide.
Yeah, fight with.
Yeah.
Good minus armor.
It's kind of a cool pick too. It's another hero that benefits from the Chen amplified healing. It gives them a save, something that, you know, we saw PSG.LGD pick Shadow Demon to take away from OG potentially. So having a save and a second save with the Chen heals as well gives them a lot of ways to keep this Alk alive.
Also, this OG timing push at 20-25 minutes. He walks up high ground and he's just going to get 100 attacks.
Last pick, Slark. Ame Slark. He brought this one back into the meta if you go back to Epicenter, and this is a pick against a lot of melee cores. This is Theorycraft is one of the better cores to run against Alchemist. You guys like the last pick, Slark?
I think if they put it mid, I think it's pretty good. It lanes well against the Legion Commander. It's one of the few heroes that can kind of trade with it. And I think if they do that, Ame's going to get off to a start. He's probably going to be able to carry the game.
I think yeah, in the late game, it's gonna outcarry the Alchemist. So, but the question, of course, every time is if they can get to the late game.
Well, we're gonna have to find out if they can hold, because Alchemist with Chen hits that scary timing. We've seen OG; they just ran over them in that game too. Do you think they're gonna get to the late game?
There's a lot of hero from OG. The LCW, what is it called?
The press the attack.
Press the attack here, the Chen Aura, Alchemist ulti here. There's a lot of here.
All right, well, we've got Casey on stage to hear some final thoughts from one of the coaches before we get into our Game 3 decider.
Yeah. Absolutely perfect. That's played away, baby.
It's looking spicy.
Can't escape your sins.
Prepare for battle.
I almost remember.
We owe you one.
Try harder. Try harder.
Absolutely perfect.
And sure enough, we go the full series. Game 3 between OG and LGD with a twist. Everybody expected the Alchemist to be taken out of the pool, and I'm not sure if anybody expected a Thompson Tidehunter? Oh, it seems like OG's bringing something different that we haven't seen yet, Blitz.
Yeah, I think the idea behind it is essentially just give a hero that can frontline, run in for the rest of the team.
Yeah.
You're a space maker and a playmaker at the same time. I think it's just good overall. I think the idea too behind the LC is similar to what they had with the Darkseer. Just a hero to buff up the Alp. You know your bread is buttered.
Yeah. And as they were talking about, the press the attack is going to be a form of heal as well, that it's going to be amped up by the Chen.
Yeah, I will say I think the Slark is a much better core than the Sven to deal with this. The idea that LGD had was we need a hero to deal with the creeps. No, you need a hero to deal with the Alchemist.
And I feel like Tiny is like the biggest and best change to LGD's lineup to deal with this Alchemist. Seems like DK was too slow, especially when it came to taking that mid tower. The fight over the bounties begins in OG.
I want to know how many games Ame, or maybe has been completely blanked out. Involved in no kills at all.
Oh, look at that. X-Nova made that read perfectly. They were planning that Ana was going to take the other bounty rune. He was going to be teleported down to bottom. And now he's going to have to use his TP scroll. And PSG.LGD managed to get 3 of the 4.
Nice hard read as Chalice going to block up the creep wave. I think my favorite change to this is making FY play the Shadow Demon instead of a hero like Jakiro. I just don't love Jakiro as a 4 position. I feel like it's very limited what you can do with that hero. FY is your Ferrari. Let him roar.
And you've got a lot of play potential, and you want this Shadow Demon to be strong against an Alchemist, right? Like, part of the way of dealing with Alchemist is heavy burst damage, and Soul Catcher gives any sort of burst damage you have, it makes it look that much better. A tiny combo plus the Soul Catcher, I'm not sure what hero doesn't die to that.
Yeah, plus the Earth Splitter, of course, percentage-based things being very nice against the Alchemist. But who knows, maybe it's just going to be a little bit too strong for them, as last game was so one-sided. I personally think that the combo is way too good, and PSG.LGD, they're banking on the fact that they knew it was coming and they had an answer for it.
They did say in that interview with 357 that they were going to be pressuring the Alchemist a lot more. We see that already with FY just getting stack after stack. X-Nova doing what No-Tail was trying to do so well in game 1 with this Elder Titan, and just push back the other 2 opposing members of this dual lane and give Ame the space he needs.
Yeah, but he's already so low. He's got to be careful for the time being. Seb, once again, having pretty good lane. He's going to fight up against Ame. Doesn't seem to care too much. And now that X-Nova's here, he's got to be a little bit more cautious.
It is a pretty cool idea, right? Is that like Tidehunter and the Alchemist are very well countered by the Slark. It's just a terrible lane for Tidehunter. So being able to get the hard counter of Legion Commander against that Slark instead, and swapping Thompson over the mid lane. We'll see.
You feel like it's a hard counter?
I think Legion Commander against Slark, I think it's relatively.
I think when there's a save, it's really hard. Top lane, X-Nova getting quite low. The nuke from Seb. Right click from Jarex. We'll finish this off as Ame has to back out, reset himself, leaps away over the tree line. First blood going to OG.
It's a good start. That aggro dual lane. Our mid lane, 12-2 for Thompson. Is Somnus struggling a little bit with CS, but a wave is pushing into him. He also has an arcane rune in his bottle. The lane pushing out into the favor of the Shadow Demon and Sand King, which means there's going to be some neutral lane shenanigans. We'll see how FY tries to deal with this, but at top lane, the Stomp goes out, does manage to hit at least the Rubik. Jarex is going to be quite low. Can he finish him off? X-Nova gets to the end. Seb will return fire and bring down X-Nova.
Support for support. Bottom lane, Sand King having a very nice time of things. NS Farm hasn't been slowed down either. Courier almost goes down. One more hit would have done it for FY.
Or Thompson's just fearless here, maybe. He's going to try and put some pressure on him. Does manage to get the Thompson and a solo kill like that. You know, I thought Thompson knew better, but sure enough, he was way too low.
Yeah, that's the one thing about Thompson is it does feel like he dies the most out of any of the top mid laners.
Yeah.
He doesn't seem to care too much.
Yeah.
In fact, I don't even know if this guy cares about deaths, farm. It just feels like he cares about getting into the enemy jungle, forcing you out, and being this frontliner for Ana. But that'll be a costly death, as Baby had such a slow start. He's already eclipsed his kill mark total from the previous game.
Seb laying down the spray when he gets pounced, while Ame in turn covers up that spray with one of his own from VG Game.
Meta, you see, maybe he gave the late tip to Thompson.
Ame trying to get out of, he does have pounce range. They were trying to block him in with Seb, but he actually juked the wrong direction.
Rubik, have you come to study?
Oh, Somnus with this double damage.
Clearly gonna zone out this Tidehunter. Thompson does not want to be here for the time being. Creep even just running through the the area just to give one more last hit to Somnus.
Stuff goes out. Zed, big nuke that's going to force the pounce away, and X-Nova may not be able to win this man fight, especially when we press the attack activated on Seb. With the level 4, it means he does have that passive to be able to bring down X-Nova. If he can get into the trees, maybe the stop, no.
Ame's just going for the bounty runes against the Alchemist is so important. JX is going to try to race him against these, but doesn't have lift, so he will not get here in time. Neither of them have boots, but Ame is in a much better position to pick up this rune, and it looks like PSG.LGD will get away with 3 of them.
Yeah, that is makes the best of that situation. That's all 4. It's only 240 gold being collected for the OG side off of the bounties.
And they're gonna wait for this bottom lane.
The next label play.
Nobody wants to pick it up quite yet.
Funny part is, because they have an Alchemist, OG net worth lead is even, despite that big bounty rune advantage that PSG.LGD has. And Chalice is doing so well. 33-6, 31-6 for Somnus, who's now looking for the toss over onto the Tidehunter. Into the tier 1 tower, and Thompson without Ravage is going to be caught by the stomp. Body blocked up a little bit by FY. He'll build up the stacks and see if he's going to be the one to claim the last hit. In fact, he will. FY. He wants these last hits. He wants the fast ether lens.
Much better start for all of PSG.LGD this time around. A less greedy lineup too. I don't know if trying to outgreed an Alchemist is ever the play, because the hero doesn't work in the same sense. He's not like a Midas builder. He's just going to get his 10-minute, 12-minute items and win the game for you.
That's why we heard our draft panel talk about how important it was to shore up your mid game, because that's where the Alchemist is going to hit hardest. Once he has that Radiance plus AC.
From the 12 to like 25-minute mark, this guy is king. Nobody will touch this out. You have to be able to ride that out if you're PSG.LGD, and that's why they took the Slark. The Slark is meant to secure the late game.
Yep.
He's good against all 3 cores on the side of OG, and neither of the supports do anything against him. So the way this game looks is pretty clear cut. OG have a timing window, once again, where they're going to go down the lanes with their Legion backing up their Alch, so you can't ever get stunned up. Constant purges, the heals, the Tidehunter's going to back him up too. He's going to get a Vlad's. And for PSG.LGD, it's bend, don't break. Take fights. If you lose 1 or 2, that's fine, but you can't afford to give up all your tier 2 towers like you did.
Hilarious. Look at No-Tail. He's been one by one sending out his neutral creeps to be able to pull back the wave to stop this push. But finally, he's going to be caught as the Spirit does reveal where he's at, and PSG.LGD will die with confidence now, especially since they've already brought down at least one of his neutrals. The Hellbear is still pulling some of the creeps, though.
Okay.
And this really is the principle of getting kills into objectives, right? Is that No-Tail, he understands the same thing, and he's saying, you can kill me, but if you're not taking the tower, it's fine.
It's on the run. He's pinging towards it. He's laughing about this right now.
The turn comforts of the melee creep is going to get
And
the deny on the illusion rune while simultaneously pulling all of this into Ana. So it's not even going to return into the bottom lane. This is some next level shit from OG.
Oh my lord. I can't even believe that. He dragged the entire creep wave so that Ana gets a double wave in mid lane. He saves the bottom tower, maybe wastes his entire time, and he denies the illusion rune.
Dude,
that is the most value single creep that I've seen.
I mean, I think that was the most space-creating, defeating death I've ever seen. No-Tail literally bought themselves like, he just killed 3 minutes of pushing time.
Yeah, he, Pylai Dai is just in the back. He's like scribbling notes. He's like furiously trying to figure out what he did right there. That gave Ana so much gold, brought him much closer to his Radiance. Didn't have an amazing laning phase, but that's going to help out a lot.
Yeah, it certainly is. But this is where PSG.LGD are going to have a change of tactics. Last time, they tried to go in for the mid push. They tried to take down that tower before taking over the jungle, but this time, a smoke directly towards Ana. Chalice leading the way with the 1 level first strike.
Just found that for ulti.
They're going to be able to get the disruption first. And the epicenter full up. They're going to throw all the first damage onto them all at once. Yep, right. It's not going to be good enough here. So.
By the way, I was wondering why this ward right here that PSG.LGD placed, I was like, why didn't they block the camp with that?
Yeah.
And you realize because OG's going to look for that ward. They know guaranteed that there is vision there, but by placing it up there and not blocking the ward, not blocking the camp, that's so intelligent.
Yeah.
It's going to give Ana a little bit more space, but it's going to open up kills a little bit more. They've got no idea about it.
Also, the combo, the way they set up that kill was just brilliant. It maximized the damage in a minimal amount of time. Right? Leading with Disruption to get off Epicenter first rather than trying to go for Burrow Strike into Epicenter where there's this delay of damage. It really killed the effectiveness of Chemical Rage there. Now, PSG.LGD will manage to get another 3 bounties. That's 9 bounties they picked up in this game for 2,400 gold. Excuse me, that's more like 12 or something.
Yeah, that's how they've kept up in this game so far.
Oh, Jarex! No, X-Nova doesn't have a TP.
He'll be stuck here for the time being. He's got to wait for the courier.
Look at him, he's sitting on top of his spirit and taunting him. Before he's going to TP away, but FY actually catches the meanwhile top lane. Seb's going to be caught, but it's over to mid, where Jarex, you play around in the spirit, you do a little taunting action, showing off to X-Nova, but in the end, you get caught for it.
And he loses the ward for it too. X-Nova's fine with that.
Yeah, I think he is now, for sure. How's Thompson doing in farm, by the way? He's going to be rushing double bracers into a Vlad. So those bracers are super value for Tidehunter, both because tankiness as well as making your anchor smash more effective.
The courier's been killed too.
That is a big pickup.
Dire's bottom
But Ana talked about the pre-12-minute Radiance.
Yeah.
This time around, they've slowed down so much of his farm.
It's not even a 12-minute relic at this pace.
Radiant are
Last game, he had it at like 10 minutes, and I was blown away.
Yeah.
Have they dewarded it yet? They still have vision of that area. Jarex is still looking. He doesn't see where it is. It was such a good ward.
It was.
It's the next level mind game. Give them the stack so that maybe it'll pay off and you'll get extra kills.
Smoke up, rotating to bottom. Seb, who's been holding on to this tower for OG, but now will pay for it with his life. The top They really wanted to make sure that least commander died fast, so there wasn't a chance of OG defensively rotating.
And they still haven't lost any towers on the side of PSG.LGD. No trade towards that top lane. It's still quite healthy. And this is going to create even more space for Ame. They can play into the jungle. Jarex is pinging. He thinks that they're going to smoke towards mid, which is why he preemptively places that sentry.
And a minus is almost here for Ame, plus his level 10. So both help him farm a bit faster. Somnus trying to catch Ana here, does have the toss back into the creeps. The TP, it's a slow one from FY, so there's no chance of them actually killing this, but it does force a lot of rotation. Zeb is now in the same lane as Ana, not really the way they want to play things.
No, not until he has Radiance anyways, and he's still working on it right now. And that's why PSG.LGD are going for all these aggressive maneuvers. They know that they've slowed down the timing enough. Thompson isn't really getting involved in fights either. They just want to defend this mid area while he tries to catch up and farm. This is not the typical Thompson game that we see where we see him rotate into the enemy jungle. He's been a lot more farm-centric. It feels like both mid laners have been swapped positions. Seb getting gone on at top.
They do have Jarex, though, TPing in. Telekinesis toss back on to X-Nova, and Seb, as he wakes up, you'll see this as an opportunity to get some dual damage.
It's the first dual win for him in this game. But yeah, it feels like whoever has Tiny is playing aggressively, and whoever doesn't just prioritizes the farm. Thompson, we felt his impact in the mid game so often throughout this series alone.
Looks like they don't want to give up this tower. Chalice, he's going to show himself. Chalice with the veil out, not actually trying to get any extra damage off the epicenter, surprisingly enough. Maybe with FY here, trying to catch somebody with the disruption, does get him. That's going to be the Chen caught. Chalice ready to go with another round of the Burrow Strike. So even if they don't kill Seb, they'll get a kill at the top lane. Still though, I'm sure OG is quite happy with the space created as they took the mid tower.
Forcing Thompson out of the jungle right now, who just continues to plug away at his farm. Maybe he's going to go for... Okay, not sure.
The Radiance is here. You know that OG, the last time they picked up this Radiance, they immediately barreled into PSG.LGD.
But the timing was much better last game.
Yeah.
That was almost a full 4 minutes ago that they got it. it just delays up everything. The AC timing that he got, the BKB. He has to continue to just farm up, and PSG.LGD are in a much better spot. In fact, at this point in the game, I believe they were down 3-4K.
Oh, no! He still managed to get the long-range Bro Strike onto No Tail, but that is a maxed out pesky attack. Still not good enough to be able to save No Tail. Now the duel. On to challenge with the Ravage out. This is saved in time. The other is still on the top. Not going to be able to get the kill on the challenge. Maybe forward. Thompson. First goes down. Toss forward. Challenge. He's going to die. Somnus actually accidentally killing his offlaner, and maybe he may have just got himself killed as well as Anna chasing him down with the Radiant. Somnus is going to need another beautiful toss away. Looking for it. And a little on creep, but it's going to be too long. The Avalanche is there to gut. Slowing down Somnus, and the Radiance will burn him down. No chance for a blink.
And Anna finally decides to participate with his Radiance. He understands that he's the strongest hero in the game. He's got to make his presence known.
Dire's top tower
March his way towards the top lane, and it looked like it was going to be so good from PSG.LGD. They got the disruption on the Sand King. They were fighting under the Sandstorm for so long, but it sort of evens out.
Tower is under attack.
One of the advantages of this Chen is being able to pull people around the map, and we see that with Thompson, who gets TP back to the fountain, is ready to go with the TP somewhere else in the map. If he felt like he wanted to go top, he could have done so.
Yeah, and for the third game in a row, OG is going to take the mid tower first. They prioritized it so heavily in their games.
Oh, Arcane Room going to be left behind, and Anna sees it. Thank you very much. That'll mean some more acid sprays.
Dire's
top going to be taken.
They see all these heroes rotating over. PSG.LGD really want to take the fight, but Seb is going to try and get the initiation onto Somnus. They have the unstable concoction, but the rest of PSG.LGD is on their way. There goes the duel, but Challenge is going to be able to get a two-man Bro Strike. Pouncing in as well, the two-man Dark Pact on top of everything else, on top of the Somnus. And now they have Seb dead, but Anna is still so tanky. He gave him with his dying breath to press the attack. The level 4 press the attack with so much regeneration means Anna will be able to bring down X-Nova. Now he looks for more, but Chalice, he's just trying to pull the creeps away. Buyback over to the side, the buyback. Chen is here as well, X-Nova. Trying to catch him, FY, looking for the disruption while Ame taking stacks after stacks, but he waited out the dark. He's gonna, oh, the Chalice save! Ame trying to get away, the top. Anna dies, and now Thompson's gonna be run down underneath the trees as he tries juking around, but eventually Somnus is gonna be able to find him. They have the Bro Strike there as well. Back over to Ame, and the finish off Jarek's top of everything else. 7-14 LGD win a massive fight in the top lane.
And OG, I thought that Ame was dead for sure, but they find the save for him to follow up. This is going to be a value shrine. I like them to continue to play faster, smoke up, attack that triangle area. You're together here as 5 right now. Looks like they're going to back out, farm through. Ame still in a really comfortable position, about to pick up his Diffusal Blade. Medallion on Chalice.
Feels a little bit like game 1 now, where OG had that net worth lead. But once LGD were finally able to reclaim it, things started snowballing heavily. We'll see if LGD can do that again, or if they're going to play it a little bit more passive this time around, because they do have so many items about to flow in. Ame almost has a Diffusal Blade. They're going to work towards Aghanim Scepter on Somnus, though he needs the full kit still.
And if you're PSG.LGD, you probably want to take a fight. They've got to be a little bit cautious, though. And they did end up going to the triangle area. They just didn't smoke for it. OG, they've got the Ravage. They want to take this fight, too. Both teams feeling like they're stronger than the other.
Rare Thompson shows up as all important because he doesn't have a Blink Dagger. He needs to be able to get on top of PSG.LGD, and he gets on top of X-Nova right away. But there's the disruption. Thompson dodges the stomp. Seth still trying to close the distance, wants to be able to catch X-Nova, gets completed his TP. Anna will stun himself. They'll surely know about the vision on the high ground now, but OG did not get the successful smoke gank that they were hoping for.
Yeah, both teams battling it out for position right now. And now it's going to be an immediate run into the Roach Pit. Feels like deja vu of game number 1.
Hey, yeah, that's because Somnus TP'd out to the bottom lane. He thought that was space as OG failed to find a kill, but now he has to run all the way across the map.
And it's got a BKB too. They should feel pretty strong here, but
they don't do it
quite fast enough.
Can PSG.LGD actually take a 5-on-5 against BKB and a pipe with Ravage?
they're looking like it. I don't think you can give this Aegis up for free because I feel like it's going to be then a repeat of game.
Oh, if they find an opening like this, it's going to be massive. The Soul at the top. Again, who can survive against that combo? Certainly not Zeb.
With the pipe, it looked like he was strong enough. You were wrong, friend, and now the crowd coming back alive. Zeb said, where you at? And they're responding now. Top lane. Gonna get caught on now.
He's going to use that last bit of life to kill the Observer Ward, and he does manage to pick up the bounty rune. So Thompson grabbing the 3 on the right. It would be huge. He still has BKB, but he doesn't pop. Anna thought he had more time, but that is a limited resource against PSG.LGD's aggression.
Pickoff after pickoff, they're finding holes around the map. You still haven't really felt the impact of this Tidehunter either. 0-3-3. Thompson was so dominant in game number 2.
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Radiant's top
7-17. Still, LGD holding that slight net worth lead against an Alchemist.
You're not feeling good right now if you're OG. Your Alc Chen combo should be the strongest at this point. You picked up a pipe on Seb. You've got a Vlad's, a medallion on Thompson. This is almost the exact same situation as last game. They've itemized in a very similar way too, but it just doesn't really feel like they've got the same oomph.
There's so many things that Seb maxed out press the attack first, for example. Him going for the pipe, as you said, it's like they're all showing that they're trying to synergize around making this Alchemist as strong as he can be. And now Seb, he just get caught again. Thompson's going to be here, ready to go with the Ravage. 2-man Pro Strike, Earth Splitter as well. Beautifully placed. That's going to be a lot of damage to start things off. The Stomp, though, will allow them to retreat.
They're just going to back up as they rightfully should. They don't quite have the mana for this, and it looks like they're just going to walk into Roshan again. I heard Anna, he did pop his ulti. And yep, if you toggle it off, it works.
He managed to do it in time, so LGD won't have that easy way.
You just have to spam press it, I believe.
Yeah.
And it takes it off, because he definitely had Radiance turned on when he was under, when he pops out. Neither the Illusions did.
Gush, as well as the Medallion.
Oh, this is a nice room for him to pick up the Illusion. This is going to scout out for him, stop any blinks. The initiation up from the Sand King as well.
Disruption onto the Illusion Alchemist. Not able to turn that Radiance off. They have vision of that Observer Ward as well, but everyone is a little bit too scared to be that far forward. Jarek showing himself at top, Anna showing himself at bottom. LGD have a little bit more confidence that they control this mid area. The BKB soon for Ame. If OG doesn't take that Roshan soon, I fear they may miss their timing blitz.
I'm not really sure. I'm trying to figure out where they go from here, because once he gets the AC, that's one of the strongest power spikes in the game for this Alchemist.
Yep.
You can get items after that, but the 3-item timing of this Alch is used to be, it's so powerful. That's what they rode last game, and this game it feels like they're still going for the same play. It's just not really there for them. It's harder for them to push into PSG.LGD's lineup. They haven't taken enough tier 1 and tier 2 towers. Thompson, I think, has had the roughest game. We're not really feeling the impact of this Tidehunter. It feels like he's having a similar performance that maybe did. And it doesn't feel good going all these items that are meant to empower your Alchemists, and you're not winning team fights behind that hero. So they're going to go for it again.
Spirit revealing and slowing things down until the Blood Golem stunning up Nova.
But Ame's really far away. They noticed that he wasn't there, and this might actually be...
It's a free rush. Unless. No. Sana's not going to go for it, is he? He's thinking about it. He's hovering around this area. He's going to go for the blink, gushed up. Won't be able to anymore. The Earth Splitter going down. Challenge. We've got to get in with you. Just picks up Diana. And now Challenge immediately punishes. He's hit by the Ravage. He do have the disruption on top of the duel. Nova will eventually die here. Ame with his BKB. He activates it, but everybody of OG is so tanky. PSG.LGD was just a mistake to try and challenge this Roshan FY. Trying to get away, but there's so many blinks coming in. Another round of unstable concoction. Catches FY. LGD lose the Roshan, and they lose 3.
I'm so surprised that they took the fight in that way. They held for so long, and then they just gave up the area. Ame decided he was going to go bottom and then TP's back to base.
And OG is
just going for it.
that if you give them this opening, they're going to push it in a hurry. They do have the Aghanim Scepter for Somnus. This is going to be rather important in being able to defend. He throws out the volume with the Burrow Strike. That's going to be a lot of damage to start things off. The Avalanche followed up. Seb as well as Anna knocked down to half health. But that was the buyback from the Sand King. Could be able to finish off the Sand King. No buyback from him. There's going to be one coming out from X Nova, but these heroes are rapidly regenerating up thanks in part to No Tail and his healing aura. And Ame, he's trying to build up some medicine ship charges, more volleys into the back line as he goes, but this is looking like Anna is unstoppable. Jarek spying them the time with the Sandstorm, making sure everybody gets out except for him, and yeah, that is going to be Jarek's Mon Thompson thinking about turning around. He doesn't have Ravage. Anna coming back in. X-Nova going to be saved by so much damage, but in the end, he's going to be left alone. Somnus does manage to finish off Jarek, so support for support trade-off, and LGD still down 2.
But there's no more racks for them to take. They know there's bounty runes. They're going to reset off of that. That'll be a 2-for-1, and the racks taken. Ame's decision and whoever's call it was on PSG.LGD, that might prove to be fatal. The decision to split up, give up that Roshan area to deal with the rest of the waves.
Yeah.
You had to have known that OG was desperate to take that Rosh.
And then in the end, once that mistake does happen, trying to cover up that mistake by fighting for the Aegis.
Yes, once Ame, I think he realized, he's like, oh man, I actually messed up. So you try to overplay. He BKBs, uses that and his ulti. Once that pops off, OG knows this Slark cannot 5-on-5 against us.
Double damage.
Well, we'll see how well LGD is going to be able to hold, because OG, you know what they want to do.
They're going to get a heart on this out, and the regen with the Divine Favor is going to be out of control.
Top shrine is under attack.
Percentage base heal on percentage base heal.
Yeah.
The sheer amount of health he'll have.
And again, they still don't have a Spirit Vessel either. That still would have been handled by the Legion Commander with the Press the Attack, which is another great synergy with this Alchemist. So even if he does get chain stun, they always have a way to be able to break it.
Somehow they find themselves in the exact same position they did in the previous game.
It's a little bit tougher to go high ground a second time, though.
Oh, look at this. Seb went back for drums so they could all in for it.
Nice.
He knows, he smells blood right now.
He's going to be pulled in soon.
You only go for this item, you go back for this item because you think to yourself, this game's going to be over real quick.
Yes. Somnus. They have the Sandstorm DPS, they have the volley, they have these little things they can throw out, but they have to be able to address the back line of OG, and look at where Thompson is. He's trying to break smokes right now. They're going to sneak over with the Slark, but he's been spotted by. They are going to be dancing. 2-minute Burrow Strike. Nearly Rabbit going down. The unstable production cocked up. Ready to go. On to challenge for the duel. On to Somnus. He's trying to get the cleans in, but it just dies. The Earth Splitter goes out, but it's not enough. Ame's building up the damage. Seven's been perched up. Maybe they can finish him off. Chalice actually managed to get away, but at the same time, Ame could not commit for Seb. So in the end, it's just Somnus who died with no buyback.
And that was everything that PSG.LGD had. They committed hard for that fight. They still have the epicenter, but a lot of this damage just being negated by the heart. Anna's just going to go back in.
He needs 60 gold. 60 gold for the buyback on Somnus, or 30 seconds. Which will it be, LGD? Are they going to have to give up 2 lanes of barracks against
look at Jarek.
Jarek's throwing down some volleys of his own. Chalice prepping the epicenter blink. He's going to be able to get the 2 in the back line. Can they actually finish him off this time? They're just so damn tanky. There's no flow of damage. They don't have the tiny. The pipe is too strong, and Chalice sitting amongst them inside the Sandstorm, trying to push them back, but he's going to have to Burrow Strike away from Anna, as Anna pops another chemical rage, turns to the melee barracks. And this is going to be 2 as Ame starts racking up those stacks into the back line. This time he'll commit the BKB to finish off the chain. Couldn't stop it. And Seb actually completes the teleport in, managed to get the duel. Can they kill Ame though? The BKB is still going on. He gets more and more stats. Shadow dance away. Anna looking for any target that's weak, but he has to TP away. He realizes he's low. Disruption done. He's done. He stalls up Anna, and now Anna. Oh no, the Burrow Strike challenge. This is not the moment to choke, my friend. But fortunately, Somnus is always there to protect you.
And Thompson in the back line has to chase Ame with so many stacks, 141 agility. They wanted to get away from that Slark. It took them a little bit too long. They do lose the melee barracks, but that's a 5-man team wide. PSG.LGD needed that desperately.
And as a result, It was quite the net worth climb for OG in these fights, but it is going to take heavily back down. As OG now only holding a 5,000 net worth, and Ame is going to start claiming some items, starting with the Shadow Blade, working towards a Silver Edge. We almost have the Solar Crest for the Sand King. Somnus now has a crit with the Crystallis. Probably just gets more and more dangerous, but OG, they only really need one, maybe two more fights.
Look at OG. They're hiding so far behind Jarex. He's being patient right now. They understand that PSG.LGD with the numbers advantage is on the hunt. That's why Ame's going to go all the way around.
He's got a fight. He's still got the extra 100 agility he's going from earlier. And with the Dark Pack going off, Jarex, that is not a steal that will get you away from Ame.
That's 123 agility that he still has, and the 11 perma. That's quite a bit of it.
And all the bounty rooms. That is, now look at that, 2,000 net worth. That's it.
And the gold lead is swung now the other way. These two Titans just swinging for the fences right now. And OG has to be careful. Every other team has proved that Mega Creeps does not end the game. If you are consistently getting wiped for just racks, that does not feel good.
At the same time, though, they know that PSG.LGD does not have buyback on their Shadow Demon, Chalice, as well as X-Nova. Do you try and force it anyway in this fight, or are you just waiting for Roshan?
I think you're waiting for Roshan. That's probably your next objective, for both teams, in fact.
Okay.
For OG, it's how you get potentially the last set of racks without having to hard commit. For PSG.LGD, getting it onto Ame so that he doesn't have to use his BKB so soon would be pretty nice. And remember that OG is still on the timer. A lot of these items that they've opted to go for, they're not meant to scale.
I mean, you said it perfectly with Seb, right?
You went
the
back
only reason
for drugs.
You go back for drugs is all inning right now.
Yeah, you think I'm going to win this fight, they're going to break, we're going to wipe them, we're going to go for the throne, I'm going to pop my drums active repeatedly. And they've got like 14 auras.
Oh boy, Thompson. He's got his level 20, and he's about to finish up a Desolator. So when Roshan does spawn, they can do it super quickly. But at the same time, PSG.LGD,
Ame uses buyout gold here.
Ame, be careful.
They've got a gem.
The volley, slowing down some of those supports, but they pulled in Anna, and I'm not sure PSG.LGD are ready to take a fight right now. Epicenter, oh, Chalice. Fortunately, he held on to it in a way. He stopped it, so OG don't know he used that big team fight ultimate.
Doesn't feel too good. Ame, whenever you use your buyback gold out like that, it feels so bad. Yes, you have your Silver Edge, but you don't feel comfortable fighting at this point.
Yeah. A tense game 3 for OG and LGD. This determines who's going to be heading to the grand finals. Will it be a repeat? Will OG beat LGD in the upper bracket finals and go all the way through to the grand finals for the second year in a row? Or will it be LGD changing history, changing the fate, the path that laid before them into Shanghai?
You can forget about the last TI if you win this one.
Yes.
This is the biggest one by far. It'll sting a lot less.
In so many ways, whether it's the prize pool or the pride of finding under your home nation.
The only thing that matters is being the latest champion.
Dire's structures are fortified.
15 to 25, 33 minutes in. We're going to have a split push. OG, they've got 2 towers to take bottom lane. Ame plays the other side of the map. PSG.LGD, they're not looking for a fight until Roshan. And Roshan, it's up right now. Surprising that OG be willing to play the other side of the map, and maybe they feel like LGD just can't do Roshan quickly by themselves.
I think LGD is just waiting for their opportunity to just hold down another high ground assault like that.
Yeah.
That's where their Sand King's going to be the strongest too, is when OG's going to push into him. Plus, PSG.LGD, I think they make the right read on the game. They should feel like if it continues to go on, they will win. I have to imagine this is the Slark.
They're going to try and break him. They're tossing into Ame looking for the break, but no, Thompson gets off the Ravage first. On to 4. No real follow-up from OG, though, so honestly, that's good enough for LGD, forcing out that ultimate.
Yeah, with the Ravage down, that would have been the gem. That's why Thompson was so willing to pop that. Even though it might cost you another fight, Not losing the gem is the key here.
So OG say that's fine, we have time. We'll just spend 2 minutes before we take Roshan. LGD are not going to be able to force the issue themselves.
And this is going to be an Ags picked up by Ana. Wonder who he gives it to. Jerax would be a pretty good call.
Thompson now has the Desolator, and he's somewhat close to 25. This is something that Ame may have to start worrying about a little bit.
The lack of armor on Tiny?
No, just the gigantic amount of AoE damage that comes from this anchor smash.
I was sarcastic.
Somnus gonna be caught. Pounce. Dead. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. Daedalus soon for Somnus too.
Everybody has so much armor on the side of PSG.LGD.
They really do.
Oh.
This Tiny 34 armor. Ame is 25 for himself.
I don't actually think they care about this Deso very much. But I feel like OG's lineup, they're kind of running out of options for what they can get.
Buyback from Seb with this stomp. What's happening here? He's actually going to TP over to Ame, but at the same time, they're still trying to finish off Thompson. That is not going to be good enough unless the Jeff on the ground. Challenge not able to grab him, but look at the damage right here. He's not here. The BKB activated, and they quickly realize that with the BKB chemical rage, Ana is too tanky to go for. Xnova thought he was going to be able to get it. Couldn't get the gem. Gem drop. Thompson reclaims it.
They don't want to give up this Roshan area. Ame's going to hop in. Somnus is going to bottle up that invis. Not that good because of the gem that they still happen to have, but PSG.LGD in a really good position right now. The buybacks were used by OG, but of course, as we saw throughout this game, all that really matters is who gets this Roshan.
That's why everyone's just playing around that mid lane.
They gave the Ags to the Tide, by the way. One of my favorite Ags in the game.
Yeah, yeah.
It's so awkward, and it's like a better version of Venge's Wave of Terror.
I mean, you've got the Gush Armor talent for it, too, so that's minus 12 in a line, plus the Acid Spray. Plus, you know, Solar Crests that are being thrown around on both sides. The concoction popped, a momentary stun onto Ame. Doesn't want to blow his BKB, so he pounces down into the river.
Building up those stacks. He's got 12 perma agi. That's so much. They're looking for the backline right now. Thompson does have.
He's been talking to Thompson. He's got a 3-man bro strike. The Ravage goes off though, controlling up Ame. He gets down by Thompson. The big swing of the anchor smash. Finish him off. Now FY trying to get the force tap. Disruption out. Stop going in. That's going to be Jerax. Already dead. No tail's quite low as well. But the course of OG going strong. The buyback coming in from Ame though. Can he come in? Can he deal with Thompson? Bro strike out for challenge to Xnova. He's going to be left. Fed to Ana and Thompson.
No tail about to burn out, but
no tail. Almost died there. The press of the attack helps him though.
And all the buybacks filtering through. And I lied, Thompson does so much damage.
Dude, Thompson does so much damage, and he doesn't even have the 25 talent yet.
I can't believe Ame died to that. Roshan's getting really low. We talked about how important this was.
The volume does throw in, but it's going to be too late to be able to claim Roshan at least. So LGD gonna have to do another one of their famed high ground defenses.
OG just figures it out. They find a way, they dig deep. They figure out a way to win. Look at the net worth and the XP slowly start to climb back in their favor. I figured for sure PSG.LGD's lineup would be stronger at this point, but OG are just out fighting them. Their use of the buybacks feel a little bit better.
And it all starts with Jerax, right? He gets the telekinesis, the follow-up Ravage, then they Solar Crest the Slark, hit him with the big anchor smash.
Yeah, this is just one team outplaying another at this point. This should be where PSG.LGD is stronger. OG is just...
Gonna be like an opening here, trying to jump on Ana, force something out, first strike out for the duel. Immediately used on to Tiny. Saw this. Is there a save? There's no... there's no shatter there.
Chalice is gonna go down
back. Chalice is dead. They both fight back. Ame, he's out here breaking Ana. No BKB for him, but he does have cheese. Oh, and the epicenter and the Roshan. They're going to try and finish off. No tell. He died. Feeling bites back. Ana fighting up against Ame. Ame with the shadow dance though. Cheese immediately popped. They're going to try and back themselves away, playing the high ground again. OG, will they assault the base again? Or will they just play it slow?
I think they should heal up for it again. They've got Ravage in 20 seconds. They've got Aegis. I think Thompson's just going back for mana, and they're going to go for it again. There's no buyback on a lot of these heroes on the side of PSG.LGD. All it's going to take is one more swing, one successful team fight, and OG will have won and secured themselves a top 2 finish at this TI.
250 damage up for Thompson, and he's got Ravage. He can play the front line now. He can be the one hitting the tower if they want.
Anna doesn't have buyback himself, but they're just going to allow Thompson to swing away at this tower. Ame looking for an opening. Gonna go in, break.
He's actually so low already, but he lets loose the Ravage. Are they going to be able to follow up? They have the disruption. Talon's going to be able to intercept, making sure the Steph doesn't manage to get the duel. Somnus forced staffed away as well, but they're going in for the Megas right now. They still have a Rax up in top lane, so this is not Megas by itself. Somnus trying to finish off Thompson. That is maybe going to be the Aegis one little bit. They spot him out for a moment. He almost dies for the Shadow Dance plus the BKB. He's going to be able to get away. Unstable concoction, disruption. He's going to stun himself. He does. Thompson, though, making his way up to top lane, has to force half away. FY in danger of that anchor smash. The finishing blow. OG all in. One last chance to make their way to the grand finals here. Get those megas, but don't lose your lives for it, as they do not have buyback. They don't have the Ravage anymore. Can they get this range barracks? Can they get the megas? And can they get out afterwards? PSG.LGD.
They're going to have to do this 4 on 5. No buybacks.
Disruption leading things on, trying to get those illusions, stopping the backlines, doesn't hit anything, and immediately Chemical Rage. That's going to be Megas. PSG.LGD will try and hold against Mega Creeps.
OG, they might not be done yet.
LGD is saying, if we could just draw this out a little bit longer, maybe we can win, but OG may not give this the chance. Mega Creeps isn't good enough for this team. They're going to go for the tier 4s, and will this be the blow that ends the game? Will this be the way that they get to the grand finals, or will this be their fatal mistake? One tier 4 down, a break on the Jarek, immediately disruption going out. Ame, he's been disrupted, his illusions, got to stay away from those. He's going to go for Thompson here. BKB activated, Soul Catcher on him, plus the Tango, helping him out, Earth Splitter. Oh, but they got the duel. They caught Ame, and he's dead for 2 minutes. The volume's coming in, but it's not good enough. Now, the physical damage will overwhelm the throne, and PSG.LGD in a 3 versus 5 can no longer hold OG in the upper bracket finals. Bring down LGD. OG are going to the grand finals for the 2nd year in a row.
They will have the opportunity to defend their throne. If you come at the Kings, you best not miss.